I want you to remember, get a safe, not just to protect your family, but to protect your neighbors if someone ever breaks into your house. It's your right to own a firearm, so please be safe about it. I'm Richard McCann, and I am your home improvement guru.
Carolyn Burns is back. She's got our latest look at the roads.
Well, we're finding out a few more details about this crash in Antioch. It is on eastbound 4. It is just before Summersville Road. It's 2 vehicles involved. It may even be a hit-and-run type accident there. But right now, the center divide and the left lane are blocked. They do have emergency crews on scene over there, and they've been running a traffic break from Loveridge Road to get drivers to slow down. So right now, we do have a slight backup in that area there. Starts from just right after the Loveridge Road area. You'll see sluggish traffic. But once you get past Summersville Road, you'll be right there back up to the limit. And they're still working to clear this crash in Pleasanton now, southbound. 680 on the Burnell Avenue off-ramp. That's where a car crashed. CHP is on scene. Not too much of a backup in that area. Your next traffic update is at 12:38 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Mostly clear skies overnight, lows generally in the 50s. Later on today, we'll start the day with a few clouds at the coast, but then we will see sunny skies throughout the Bay Area with highs low 60s at the coast, 60s and 70s along the Bay, 80s inland. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Replacing your windows and doors can be life-changing, inspiring you to live a healthy, happy life, and it's never been easier. Marvin Windows and Doors, bringing daylight and fresh air, blending the indoors with the outdoors, so you're always connected to nature. They're designed for life, with an inspiring range of options to create the look you want and the lasting quality you need. Your local independent Marvin dealer will give you straight answers and advice about window and door replacement. Our Marvin specialists help you plan your project and select the right products for your need. You'll always know what you're getting with a detailed proposal to make the whole process easier. If you're ready to transform your space with windows and doors you love, schedule your free consultation today at replacementmadeeasy.com. That's replacementmadeeasy.com.
News that matters to you around the Bay, around the world, around the clock. All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
It's Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, coming up on KCBS. It's Election Day in California and elsewhere. Also, parents take over an Oakland school in defiance of the district.
And I'm Megan Goldstein on whether the high gas prices have us rethinking our summer travel plans.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Finch, KCBS News Time, 12:31.
CBS News Brief. After the weekend Philadelphia shooting that left 3 people dead, 2 people are now in custody. And
Mayor Jim Kenney pushed back on claims there were not enough officers, pointing to the guns for turning a fight into a deadly event, and short-term says he's leveraging additional officers from state police.
Alicia Roberts of KYW-TV. A D.C. grand jury has indicted members and leaders of an extremist group in connection with the pro-Trump January 6th riot.
These are the highest level charges. A group of accused far-right Proud Boys charged with conspiring seditiously in the U.S. Capitol attack. Accused Oath Keeper far-right group members are also facing that charge. Trials likely later this year.
Correspondent Scott McFarlane. Observing D-Day in France, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs says of Russia's war in Eastern Europe.
I think that the United States and the allied countries are providing a significant amount of support to Ukraine, and that will continue.
General Mark Milley speaking there to the Associated Press. CBS News Brief, I'm Tom Foti.
KCBS News Time, 12:32. It is Election Day in the California primary. KCBS's Chris Ancarlo reports some statewide candidates have actually been working to boost the campaigns of their political opponents.
Supporters of Attorney General Rob Bonta have been highlighting the pro-Trump, pro-Second Amendment record of another AG candidate, Eric Early.
By picking early, Bonta can basically assure that this will not be a particularly competitive runoff, and that he's not going to have to talk about a lot of those more middle-of-the-road issues.
Loyola law professor Jessica Levinson says Bonta's campaign is looking to avoid a more difficult face-off with Sacramento County DA Anne Marie Schubert. And today, Governor Newsom tweeted about Republican State Senator Brian Dahle, who is among the candidates trying to win second place. Newsom pointed to Dahle's A rating with the NRA, anti-abortion stance, and pro-Trump sympathies.
I think it's smart for Newsom to try and elevate Dahle because they're very different people, they're very different candidates, and he can basically have a foil.
For complete primary coverage, be sure to tune into KCBS throughout the day. Head to kcbsradio.com. Chris Ancarlo, KCBS.
You can also listen on the Odyssey app or tell your smart speaker to play KCBS Radio. The search continues for the person who fatally shot a Safeway employee inside a San Jose store early Sunday. Police say it happened around 3:35 a.m., apparently following an altercation between the two men. The victim's name has not yet been released. It was one of two fatal shootings in San Jose over the weekend, bringing the total number of homicides in the city this year to 14. Police in San Jose are investigating a non-fatal shooting that occurred about 3:30 Monday afternoon. That shooting occurred in the 1600 block of Hopkins Drive. An adult male was taken to the hospital where he is again expected to survive his injuries. There's currently no suspect or known motive. The last day of school was only the beginning for a group of parents at one Oakland school. As KCBS's Matt Bigler reports from East Oakland, they continue to occupy the campus, which has been officially closed by the school district due to budget cuts.
A group of moms has pitched tents outside Parker Elementary School, which has been officially reopened to the community.
We intend to liberate Parker Elementary School until our demands are met.
Those demands include the school district rescinding its decision to close Parker and transfer students to other schools. In the meantime, the parents are distributing donated food and offering summer programs.
Running a school is tiring, especially when it's coming together in 2 weeks.
As Lena Tambu has two kids at Parker, how long are you prepared to stay occupying this campus?
Until 24 hours after an affirmative vote in favor with our demands.
There's no sign the district is open to negotiating. In a statement, Oakland Unified says Parker is now closed and the people on campus are trespassing. The district has also raised safety concerns about the unsanctioned summer programs, including background checks on adults. In East Oakland, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
The weekend rainfall was very welcome, lowering the risk of wildfire as we begin a warming trend. Here's KCBS's Jim Taylor.
Record rainfall in some parts of the Bay Area Sunday. San Francisco itself it probably overperformed a little bit. It came in at just over 0.2 of an inch of rain. National Weather Service meteorologist Ryan Walburn. North Bay, of course, saw beefier totals. Coastal hills actually 1 to 2 inches, with a ½ inch or so in the North Bay Valley. That's just great news, especially in North Bay valleys, places where there's wildfire considerations. Having a little rain like this right now is a good thing, yeah? Right, yeah. When you're talking totals of a quarter to a ½ inch, it's enough to actually have an impact, at least temporarily, and I think that's the key word, is it temporarily reduces the fire danger in the North Bay. He does say it may be the last rain we see till this fall. Jim Taylor, KCBS.
A California federal judge has sentenced the Mexican man who fatally shot a woman along the Embarcadero in San Francisco to the 7 years he's already spent in jail. The sentence brings to a legal close the case that ignited a national firestorm over immigration, crime, and sanctuary cities like San Francisco. Officials say Jose Garcia Zarate was in the country illegally when he fatally shot Kate Steinle in 2015. He faces deportation, and the judge Monday told Garcia Zarate never to return to the United States. Kate Steinle's killing fueled Donald Trump's successful 2016 run for president as he called for a crackdown on unlawful immigrants. KCBS News Time 12:37. We'll check those roads once again in just 60 seconds.
1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today.
had the 2 right lanes blocked off. Now they want to close off the 2 left lanes, so you will be seeing some delays in that area there. And crews are still on the scene of this crash in Pleasanton, southbound 680 on the Burnell off-ramp there. This was a car somehow went off the road there. CHP is on scene. Your next traffic update is at 12:48 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Mostly clear overnight. Lows generally in the 50s. Later on today, sunny except for a few clouds at the coast during the morning hours. Some expected highs for your Tuesday. San Francisco, 68 degrees downtown, 64 at Ocean Beach. Oakland, 73. San Jose, 81. Redwood City, 77. Livermore, 83. Concord and Morgan Hill, 86 degrees. Santa Rosa, 87. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. KCBS News Time is 12:40. Police in Oakland say that the driver in a fatal crash involving cyclist Jonathan Waters, former wine director at Chez Panisse, will not be charged. The Chronicle reports an investigation concluded that Waters' bike made a left turn right in front of the oncoming vehicle about 10:30 p.m. May 27th, and video evidence shows that indeed it was the bicycle that caused the collision. The 60-year-old Waters suffered a severe head injury and was taken to a hospital where he died the next day. The 18-year-old driver of the car remained at the scene and cooperated with officers. How high will gas prices have to get before we change our summer travel plans? As KCBS's Megan Goldsby reports, for some, that day is already here.
After years of canceling trips because of COVID, some are now finding they need to cancel for another reason.
We had plans to do a road trip to Arizona, take our granddaughter to the Grand Canyon, which now has been canceled due to the gas prices.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
We'll spend more in gas than in lodging.
Right.
A recent survey from AAA found the majority of us have had to change something.
About 67% of drivers said that they would change their driving habits if gasoline hit $4.50 per gallon. And that number rose to 75% if the number started hitting $5 per gallon.
And California, of course, as always, way past those national numbers. But Aldo Vasquez with AAA Northern California said the survey asked people about everyday patterns. So for many people, those who could afford it anyway, the summer vacation is still on.
All the vacations are that we're not there yet. People are still filling up and they're still taking their vacation.
I just pumped 200 every time.
Dave was filling up in Roanoke Park.
Just keep it going and let's see what tomorrow brings.
Megan Goldsby, KCBS.
At the onset of the pandemic, a number of people said they'd be tipping more as a show of support for service workers who are out there doing the job during COVID. But as KCBS's Jennifer Hodges reports, it turns out that really didn't happen.
Some people say they have been tipping more.
Because I realize these people are working hard and businesses are closing.
But it depends who you talk to. At a small barbecue restaurant, this server said he's noticed tips are down.
Because I've been working since the very start of the pandemic. So I would say at the start of the pandemic, it was definitely a lot better.
It's gone downhill, unfortunately.
Ted Rossman is a senior analyst with creditcards.com. They did the study.
So the past couple of years, about a third of Americans told us they would become better tippers. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out that way.
Rossman says inflation has played a part in that.
I also think that some of these best laid plans have gone awry, and maybe the service industry staffing shortages are leading to worse service, and that's translating to fewer tips.
They found 73% of Americans tip at sit-down restaurants, but it drops down to only 57% when we talk about food delivery people. Jennifer Hodges, KCBS.
Do you remember what you wanted to do when you grew up? That was the big question facing this year's cohort of students taking part in San Francisco's Opportunities for All program, which links kids to internships in various fields. KCBS reporter Kathy Novak spoke with some of those teenagers and young adults at a kickoff event at Chase Center.
Amid the ongoing debate about policing in society, 10th grader Marco Guerra says he often has to defend his big dream of one day becoming a cop.
I get quite a bit of, not hate, but stuff said to me. But I feel like that just fuels what I want to do, because people can say whatever they want. golf. That's my dream. That's my passion.
He's hoping an internship could be a stepping stone. Police Chief Bill Scott says this Opportunities for All program can contribute to that bigger conversation, even for kids who don't want to be cops.
One of the highlights of the engagement that this program offers is young people get to see that we're just people.
Public Defender Mano Raju's pitch to Marco is to also spend some time in his office.
Come to the public defender's office and see the impact on the individuals who get arrested, and hopefully even if they go into policing, they'll do it with a broader mentality and deeper understanding.
And the chief has this classic piece of career advice.
Do well in school, stay out of trouble.
In San Francisco, Kathy Novak, KCBS.
The battle between the Golden State Warriors and Boston Celtics has become so heated, authorities have gotten involved. But in a good way. San Francisco's Sheriff Paul Miyamoto and Sheriff Peter Katugian of Middlesex County in Massachusetts have made a bet on the 2022 NBA Finals. It's for charity. The losing sheriff will also have to pose for a photo wearing the apparel of the 2022 NBA Championship team, with those photos, of course, to be posted on social media. Still to come on KCBS.
I'm Jim Taylor. A new scam to avoid IRS impersonation. The bad guy using the IRS as a lure to try to get you to provide information to them.
KCBS News Time, 12:45. Time now for sports. Baseball. Giants host the Colorado Rockies Tuesday evening. The A's start a road trip playing the Braves in Atlanta. Giants and A's both had yesterday off. Playoff hockey. Colorado completed a 4-game sweep of Edmonton Monday to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. The Avalanche will face the winner of the New York Rangers Tampa Bay Lightning series. With March Sports, here's Kevin Radich.
The Warriors head back to Boston for Game 3 at the NBA Finals, tied at 1-1 with the Celtics after outscoring Boston 35-14 in that huge third quarter in Game 2, a quarter in which Steph Curry was amazing. You know, Steph was breathtaking in that quarter. Not just the shot making, but the defensive effort. He just doesn't get enough credit for his level of conditioning, physicality, and defense. Steve Kerr in the postgame, yeah, the conditioning part is what's amazing with Curry.
I pride myself on trying to be the hardest worker, the most consistent worker. Maybe the last 2 or 3 years you work a lot smarter than harder. Just a little bit more often, especially in the off season. But there's that old saying, like what you do in the summer shows up, big moments like these. So I'm doing my job.
Yeah, Curry had 29. The Warriors head back to Boston for Game 3 Wednesday night. And Phil Mickelson made it official. He is joining the Saudi-backed LIV Golf League. He'll play in the first event beginning Friday outside London. At the Sports Desk, Kevin Radich, KCBS.
Welcome to Trash Talk. Our guest, Chip Bags. What's up, Chip?
Been on the road a lot.
That's not where you belong.
Right, because the litter gets in our waterways.
Let's change this.
Put me in the bin. That is where I belong. Visit cleanwaterca.com.
From the Caltrans Stormwater Program.
Thanks for calling 1-800-GOT-JUMP. This is Sarah. How can I help?
I want to hear that sound again.
What sound?
The sound when there's sparkle and everything starts sprinting.